Hello everybody. In this tutorial, we would like to introduce you to the notable changes in the APA referencing style 7th edition. These are the changes that have been made in the newest edition as compared to what was there in the 6th edition. So I'm already sharing my screen, and right there, the first notable change in the 7th edition is the publisher location. Unlike the 6th edition, the publisher location is no longer needed in the reference. You no longer need to include the reference. For example, the 6th edition, you had, according to the 6th edition of APA referencing, one had to include the city. For example, in this example, New York City had to be included. But in the 7th edition, all you need to do is to give the author, the title, and go straight to the publisher and not include the publisher location. Another notable change is that works with more than 2 authors are shortened to etal from the first citation. Previously, that is in the 6th edition, the first time you are making an in-text citation, you have to put all the authors and the year in brackets. And then in subsequent times, you can now shorten using etal. In the 7th edition, you can use etal from the word go. So you do not have to wait to the second time you are using that citation. Good example here, we have Taylor, Kotler, Johnson, and Parker 2018. That is for the 6th edition. But in the 7th edition, you can start off with Taylor et al. 2018. Another notable difference or change in the 7th edition is that the surname and initials for up to 20 authors do not need to be provided. So once you list all the way, you list the surnames and initials all the way to number 19, you only need to do an ellipsis and then the year of publication in brackets. So you no longer need to include all the authors in a reference item. Another notable addition is that DOIs are formatted the same as URLs. The label DOI is no longer necessary. So long as a document or an article has a DOI, you just get the DOI that looks like this, like a URL, and that is what you use. So for the 6th edition, you had to start with DOI, colon, and then the DOI. For the 7th edition, the DOI now looks like a URL. Here is a good example. Another notable change is that journal articles. Okay, actually this is not a change. This is just an example. Of these changes when you are referencing a journal article. So you start with the author, you come to the year of publication, then you go on to the article title, then you include the journal title, include the volume number, the issue number, the page numbers, and a DOI. So that is how the DOI will look. So without the need to include DOI column. For a book, an example of a book, if you are referencing a book, you start with the author, you go to the year of publication, the title of the book, which as we know should always be in italics, and then you go to the publisher. Note that unlike the 6th edition, the 7th edition omits the place of publication. or publisher locations is omitted. Further, if it is a newspaper, you start with the author. Like in this case, we have two authors, Spring and Al. Put the year of publication, the month and the date. Note that there is a comma, then month, date. Between month and date, there is no comma or full stop or anything. There's just a space. And then give the article title. Then give the URL of where that article was retrieved. This is an online newspaper. And at the end, give the newspaper title in italics, because it's the longer work. The longer work is the one which is always in italics. Then, if it's a report or other gray literature like theses and dissertations, start with the author, and remember that the author can be an individual or an organization. In this case, it's an organization. Australian Bureau of Statistics. Give the year of publication, give the title of the report, and then give the URL of that report. Always remember to indent 5 to 7 spaces. A reference item is always a hanging paragraph, so the indent is 5 to 6 spaces. If it's a conference material, give the author, the year of publication, the year of the conference, the title of the paper. Remember to include the proceedings, the title of the proceedings, the publisher. All these are captured in the URL. So the URL will give the title of the proceedings, they'll give the publisher, and even the volume number. If it is a dataset, software, or tests, start with the author as usual, the year of publication, title in italics. The title has to be in italics. Then in this case, we have Western Sydney University, who is the owner of this dataset, and then the DOI. The DOI. So Western Sydney University is the publisher in this case. If it's an audiovisual item, the primary contributor, in this case, it's a director. So remember to indicate the role of this contributor in brackets, then the year, then the title of that audiovisual work. Tell us what type of audiovisual work. If it's a film, include film in square brackets, then give the publisher. Sometimes we want to reference course notes or presentations. You can reference a presentation like this one. So when you're doing that, give the author, the year, date, month of publication of the presentation, then the session, then give the title of that presentation or the course. Tell us if it's a course or it's a session, whatever it is, give it in square brackets, then give us the URL. Remember to also include the university. If it's, for example, a course notes by USIU Africa, include USIU Africa. And if it's social media, sometimes you want to reference a tweet. So start with the author, and then give the date, give the Twitter handle, first of all, before giving the date, then include the web address of that tweet. Yeah, so that is the end of my presentation, and those are basically the notable changes that we find in APA 7th edition. Thank you.